So hello guys, welcome to my channel, Adele Bet Predict. So in this particular video content, I'm going to show you guys how you can predict the individual team in the basketball games. That is, if you want to predict their over point, this is what I'm going to show you guys in this particular video. So the first match that I'll be using as an example is under the Italy Serie A, and trust me guys, with this particular strategy, you are surely going to be making a very big odds from it. And in case you're interested in learning or acquiring some of our VIP strategies, you can contact us on our social media platform in the video description. Now let us move on, but before I show you guys the steps, I would like to make some reference to some of our games that they have already ended. Now let us go. Okay, now I have some leagues here, though actually they've played everything. So from NBA, let us try it from NBA. So these are the games that they've played, and if you check some of the outcome of these games, you can see that some results and the points they had in some games is actually very ridiculous and very small. That if some people predicted these games as over 221 points, surely the game might have lost. Now the game that I will be picking here, let's see. Okay, we are having a game that ended up in 121 and 84. By adding these two together, surely we are getting 205, and this particular point is not a very good point to be an outcome in a game of basketball NBA. In NBA, sometimes you see outcome of 260, 270, and when you are seeing maybe when the match ended up in maybe 199, 205, 200, there is high probability that many people would have lost on that game. Now, I'm going to choose this particular game to predict the individual total points. That is, let's assume that you go for this particular game that you want to predict their individual total points. Let's see whether you are going to win the game or lost. Now, let's see. Okay, so this is how the strategy work, and we are going to use it on a real life, on a pre-match game. That is the match that they've not started already. Now, let us check the head-to-head, and under this head to head, this is the last game that ended up in 121 and 84. Please, I want you guys to pay very close attention and focus on this particular strategy, and make sure that you are not missing any steps from it. Now let's see. So in the last 5 games, so you have to calculate it. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 games. So now another thing that you need to check is, but sorry, the first thing you need to check before doing this is check the odd provided by the bookmakers. So checking the odd provided by the bookmakers, if you check it for the home team and the away team, you can see that the home team, which is Miami, it happens to be the favorite team to win this particular game. Now imagine you predicted this game as the home team to straight win this particular game, 1.63 odd, a very big goal. But sometimes in basketball can be very funny sometimes, that a team that was given maybe like 7 odd is going to win the game. That is betting for you. Betting, you cannot always be winning your bet. So that is one of the reasons for the emphasis on responsible gambling, that bet with amount that you can afford to lose. Now if you check this very well, the odd, you can see that the favorite team that the bookmakers are expecting to win this game is the home team, that is Miami Heat. Now let us check. So we are focusing our over points on Miami Heat. Over points on Miami Heat. Now let us check the head to head now. So let's calculate it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the last 5 games that we are seeing here. So now we are going to check how many times Miami Heat played at home. If we check this particular game, the game ended up in 88 for Miami Heat. And checking the rest, I think they played their games away. Now document that down. 88. Now let us check their last previous meeting with their opponents. Their opponents that they beat. Now let's check this. The last 5 games: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So among these 5 games, let's see how many times Miami is played at home. So we have 1, and we have 2, and 3. So among these 3 games, which one is the smallest? The smallest point they had among these 3 games is what we are going to be looking at. So we have 100 here, we have 119 here, and we have 99 here. Don't forget, the other time we saw 88, and now we realize that 99 happens to be the smallest. Now 99 and 88, 99 and 88 is what we are going to add up together. Now let's move on to our calculator. So after getting your total figure, what you just need to do is divide it by 2. Surely you are getting 93, but after getting your 93, don't forget, for me, if I'm going to be predicting my over points on any games, I always subtract a certain point from it. So for predicting individual total points, I will always advise you guys to always subtract 5 points from individual total points over. So if you want to predict this particular game of Miami, what you just need to do is predict it as over 88. Anything apart from that, actually the game can ended up in coming like even more greater points compared that this of it is. But if you are using a particular strategy, make sure you are dedicating yourself to it. So 88 is actually the total points for the individual that you guys can go for. But in this kind of situation, you can have some scenario whereby the bookmakers will not provide what you want. Now you have to skip the game. Now let's check it. Actually, the game ended up as over 120 even, and the game won. Let's assume you predicted it as or 88. Now let's check another one, like to confirm how accurate this strategy is. Okay, let's see this. We have a match between New Orleans and Detroit Pistons. Now let's check. So the first thing I told you guys is that the odds provided by the bookmakers, they have their own ways of doing the analysis of knowing a particular team that will win the game. Because I checked something earlier about these particular teams, this particular odd assigning. I realized that the bookmakers were giving the team that's supposed to be the underdog, they were giving them small odd, like a team that is leading on the league table and is having a good form and is expected to win the game. The bookmaker are giving that particular team, they are giving it an odd of like I think 3 odd, and the team that's supposed to be the underdog, they were giving it 1.30 odd or something like that. I was like, what? And trust, guys, to my surprise, the game ended up for the underdog team winning the game. The team that the bookmakers assigned the small odd. So I don't know what they do to determine who to win the game or not. Maybe probably there are some manipulation or something like that. I don't know, but I don't know about it. Now let us move on to the checking of to see if how accurate this particular strategy is. Now see this thing. You can see that the difference between these two is just 3 points, and if care was not taken, there's probability that this particular home team would have won this particular game. And see the odds that bookmakers are giving. We have 6.79 odd or 8 odd, and they are giving the away team 1.18 odd. Imagine, there are situations like that whereby the team that we are expecting to win the game can lose by maybe like 3 points, 4.5 points. It happens now. But what we are concerned now is the over point for the individual. Now let's see. The bookmakers are giving this particular away team 1.08 odd, 1.13 odd. Now we are supporting the away team for over point. Now let us check the head-to-head new. So the head-to-head is what we are looking for, and how many times the away team has played with other teams while at away. Now let's see. In the last 5 games, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the last 5 games, they played 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, and that's all. So out of these last 3 games they played while away, we can see that the smallest among them all is 104. As you guys can see, please, I hope you guys are documenting. It's just 104. Now let us check their last 5 previous meeting with each other while playing away. Last 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the last 5. So let us check while playing away. 1 and 2. So checking this, we have just 2 games while playing away, and the smallest between these two is 111. The other one is 116. So this is 111. So 111, and don't forget the smallest we got here is 104. 111 and 104 is what we are going to add up together. So the total point that we're having here is 215. Don't forget, after getting your total points, divide it by 2. We're having 107. Don't forget, for me, That's my own style. After getting my average total point, I always subtract it by 2. By 5, sorry. And this is the total points I will be predicting for over of this particular away team. Now let's just check if the game actually ended up in the way we want it. So this is how it is. The game ended up in 114. But the only problem that one can be experiencing in this particular market is that the bookmakers too, they are not industry that are willing to give out their own money to. They are hoping for profit. The purpose and the main objective of their industry is to make profit from us. So that's just it. So when you are seeing markets that are not meeting your requirements, please try and know when to stake and when to stop. So that's just the point. Now I'm going to make another last reference before moving on to our predictions. That is our pre-match predictions as an example. So let us move away from NBA leagues and let's see other leagues too. Let's go for Italy. Okay. So this is what now guys, this is an example of what I'm saying. If you check this particular odd that's provided by the bookmakers, we are having 150, 146. So surely we are expecting the home team to win this particular game. They are giving the away team 2.74 and 2.67 odd, and with this kind of odd, surely we are expecting the home team to at least, if not much gap, at least to win this particular game with certain points. But unfortunately, checking the outcome of the game ended up in 76 and 84. See the gap, at least 8 points. We are seeing 8 point gap between them. So the home team lost, and that is the reason why, and that is the danger in predicting straight winnings too in basketball. Now let's check their head to head. Now, for example, I said that the first thing you need to do is to always follow the odd, like the team that have the favorable odds that at least like they were expecting to win the game is what we are going to be predicting as our over. Now let us check their head to head. So this is their head to head, and for the home team, don't forget we are going to check the last 5 games they've played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now while playing at home, we have 1, 2, and 3. So among these 3 figures, we are going to pick the smallest. Now see, this is the smallest figure they had, which is 66. Now take note of that, please. So in the last 5 previous games with each other, with their opponents, let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So among these last 5 games, they played one at home and this one. So among these two, we are going to be picking the smallest. So we have 95 and 85. 95 and 85, and 85 is the smallest. Don't forget, while playing with other teams at home, the smallest figure we are able to get is 66. Now we are going to add 66 and 85 together. Now let's see what we have. So now we have the total points of 151. Now don't forget, the next thing you need to do is just divide it by 2, and surely we are having 75. The reason why I always tell you guys that whenever I get my average total points, I always subtract 5 points. Yeah. So the total point I'm having is 70.5. Now imagine that you did not subtract the 5 points. Now see what you would have gotten. Actually, if you didn't subtract the 5 points, you would have slightly won the game. Like slightly won the game, because the average total point that we got from the calculation was 75 and the game ended up in 76. But by subtracting the 5 point, at least you are going to gain more confidence and safety in your ticket. Now that's how it is. Now let us move on to the real pre-match game. Now let's see. So under this particular league, I'll be going for the Italy Serie A. So under this particular game, let's see. Okay, this is the odd, and it happens to be the team that the bookmakers perceive to be the favorite team to win the game. Now let us check. Let us check the stats and let's check the market provided by the bookmakers. Now go to the statistics. So we are supporting the away team, and let's see. So it can be in two ways. Either you support the home team or you support the away team. It happens like that. Now let's see. The away team, out of the last 5 games they've played, so they only played once away, and that is 89. Okay, we have 89. Let us check their last, their head-to-head new, whereby we are going to be seeing games that they've played with other teams. So we have, in the last 5 games they've played with other teams, they had 79 here, they had 81 here while playing away, and they had 86 here. So among these three, we can see that 79 is the smallest. Now we are going to add up 79 and 89 together. So 79 plus 89 together is going to give us the total point of 168. Now 168 divided by 2, surely guys, you guys are going to be getting 84. So this 84 is our average total point for predicting the individual total point for the weighting. Now don't forget, for me I always subtract 5 when it comes to predicting individual total points. Now subtract 5, and surely I'm getting 79. Now let us go and see if we can predict this particular game at 79. Let's see. So this is the away team, that is Virtus Bologna, and unfortunately we are having 1.62 here as over 80.12, and don't forget your target prediction is over 79.5. Now these particular bookmakers are not providing the market, so always avoid things like that. But don't forget, I told you guys that when you want to take a risk of predicting over points, don't forget this is our average total points, which is 84. But for your safety purpose, I usually subtract 5 points, and that's what gave me 79. Now you have to look for bookmakers that are providing the available market for yourself. Let me quickly try and check if 1xbet will be providing it. Let's see. So let us check 1xbet now, and to see if we'll be having a favorable market under it. So Italy, yes, and Italy Serie A. So Bologna. So let's check the away, total away. So this is the market. So the total point for the away team, let's see. So this one is even worse. They are not providing it, and check if I can find. So that's just the problem. If the thing is not meeting the requirements, please always avoid it unless you want to risk the game. Like, okay, because if you check most of the previous analysis that we've been doing, actually the average point was meeting the requirement. But I'm saying this in order to keep you safe, because the last game that we saw, don't forget that the home team lost the game to the away team, and you see that the winning for that, if you had followed the average total point alone, you would have had a very slight and dangerous winning. So that's just it. So guys, let us try another last games, and let's see what we can have, and we are going to end the show. Please, I want you guys to practice this particular strategy, and let's see if you are getting it so well. And in case you are interested in joining our masterclass tutorial group, you are free to contact me through my Telegram. You can see it in the video description. Check the video description. You are going to see our Telegram handles and our WhatsApp number there. So now let us check another games, and let's see what we can have as a total. Please, I hope you guys are following it. So the first thing you need to do is checking the odd. So we're having the odd as the waiting, that is here. Okay, let's check the stats. So we have the away team. So in the last 5 games that the away team has played, we have one. Okay, so we have just 2 games they played away, and the smallest among these two is 78. Please take note of that. So 78, and let's see the head-to-head new, and let's see what we can have there. So in the last 5 games they played away, we have just 3 games that they played away in the last 5 games. So one ended up in 101, one ended up in 103, and the another one ended up in 76. So among these three, you can see that the 76 one is the smallest. So we have 78 and 76. Now let us add up the two together. So we have 78 plus 76. So the total points we're having here is 154, and don't forget 154 divided by 2, and the total outcome is 77. So 77 minus 5 is 72. But if you want to risk the game, you can go for predicting it as over 77. But for me, I'm going for over 72. Now let's see the market. So for the away team, you see again, the bookmakers are providing a very big odds at all of 1.62 for over 80.5. So the market sometimes can be very hard to see, but if you check the book available bookmakers, for example, one is bet can block some markets and can provide it. So make sure that you exploit various bookmakers platform various, and don't stay on just one bet platform to predict your game. So thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in the next video content. Bye.